Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea and today we're doing an eyeshadow palette declutter. And yes, I am right here in the background. Got on my Christmas sweater. Outfit of the day is my Christmas sweater because I have on Christmas pajamas and that's it. Sundays, I'm not trying to get all glam. But here are all my eyeshadows and this probably will be the longest video. Yes, so grab a cup of something to drink, grab a snack. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and joining me today. If this is your first time here, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe to my channel and join the amazing Glam Girl squad that we have over here. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and joining me once again, and for all of your great likes and comments. They all truly do mean a lot to me. So let's get into this long declutter. Why don't we? All right, let's first start off with some Kaleidos. I think that's how you say it. Or is it Kaleidos? I think it's Kaleidos. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. But here, I've got a few palettes by them. This is the Futurism 7. And this is what it looks like on the inside. I have yet to use this one, so I can't really tell you how this particular palette performs. But I have used their formula before, and their formula was really nice. This is the Futurism 6 palette. And I really do like the pastel colors in this one. Once again, I haven't used this one. I would probably use this one more in the springtime. But this one is really pretty as well. And we have this one. This is the Futurism 2 Cyber Bronze palette. And I haven't even opened this one. This right up my alley. So I will hopefully be playing with this one soon. But I really do like the neutral tones in this one. This is the palette that I actually have tried, the Escape Pod palette. This one is really, really pretty. So I really like the formula of it. I like that the colors that you see in the pan actually show up on the lid. They sent me a new one of these, and so I gave one to my sister, I think, and then I kept this one. But I have used this one, but I wanted to point that out just in case you're like, those shadows look untouched. How has she used it before? I have two palettes by Nabla. I really enjoy their formula. So this is the Nabla Cutie palette. And this one is a beautiful, everyday nude palette. These shimmers are very unique in formula, as well as these mattes right here. They're very, very different, but they perform really beautifully on the eye. So I really enjoy that one. I bought this one around this time last year, and I used it non-stop. When I tell you these mattes are extremely creamy, the shimmers are beautiful. Like every palette, every shade in this palette is just stunning. And I was just completely blown away, let alone the design of the palette. I think it's really, really pretty. So I want to get more palettes from Nabla. Charlie by Belle palette. I bought this one. I got it on sale for like $15. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by this one. When it first came out, I didn't buy it because I was like, this is a lighter palette. I probably won't reach for it. And I really did enjoy using it. Have I reached for it a lot? No. But I'm glad I didn't spend a lot of money on it. But I actually really do like the palette. Here's the Amrezy one. I mean, when I first got this one, I got this one in February, I think. And I used it so much. Like this was a beautiful one as well. So I'm very happy that I was able to get this one. The Soft Glam will probably be my least favorite one. I mean, obviously I've used it, but it's just, a standard neutral, and it's okay. It is okay. I love the formula. So it's not the formula. I don't know. I guess because it is just like a standard neutral, just soft glam palette, I don't use it as much, but when I do use it, I really enjoy it. So I'm going to keep that one. And then my most favorite Anastasia palette would have to be the Jackie Aina one. Oh, this one I still love this palette. My favorite shade in this palette is Zam. And I feel like between Zam and Ginger, I get the most beautiful, simple eye looks ever. Jackie Aina hit it out the park with this one. So I really enjoy this one. So sad it's discontinued now. The Master palette by Mario. Do y'all remember this one? This palette made me realize why people fall in love with eyeshadow. I was like, oh. I bought this one when it first came out, and I lost my mind over it, and I am still waiting for Anastasia to come out with this again because I won't declutter this one because it is such a beauty. The formula obviously has changed. It's not the same formula-wise, but it's so pretty. Clearly, my favorite shades were Kim and Violetta. But, oh, as much as I probably need to throw this one out, I'm not. All right, Natasha Denona Triachrome. Love it. She's a beaut and she's gorgeous. I do have a recent review on this one. So if you'd like to see it, I will go ahead and link it for you. Oh, one of my favorite Natasha palettes is the gold one. And I have to be careful because, y'all, look how bad I beat her up. That's just a shame. But you know what? It goes to show that I love her. This one obviously fell out, so that's why it looks all broken and crumbled. But this was my first Natasha Denona palette. And I was like, ooh, yeah, she's a beaut. I love her. And although there's a lot of gold shades in here, there's a lot of tan neutral shades, you really do get beautiful looks from this palette. And you can get a diverse amount of looks in this palette, probably more than what you think. So I always highly recommend this one, especially if you're new to the brand and you want to try one of the bigger ones. For me, that's my favorite larger one of the ones that I have. The Sunset palette was the one that I wanted originally, but when this palette first came out, I couldn't force myself to spend $129. Like I just couldn't do it. But I did get this one on sale. I'm glad I got it on sale because the formula is not as good as the gold palette. Still a beautiful palette. Obviously, I still use it, but the formula is not as good. The Tropic palette, I also got this one on sale. So I got this one for half off, and I'm glad I did too. This one's a beautiful palette. The formula is really nice, but I don't reach for this one as much as I reach for my other larger palettes. And so I'm glad I got this one on sale. But this is one that I use probably more in the spring versus, you know, nowadays. Glam palette. This was such a pleasant surprise. I did not think I would like this palette as much as I do because it is more cool toned. And, you know, just kind of looking at it in the pan, it's like, oh, this is light. Am I going to like it? But oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And although this palette is lighter, she did a really good job with this one in terms of the formula and making sure that it can work for a good amount of complexions. If you are of a deeper complexion, I for sure would recommend the bronze palette. This one, hands down, is just one of my favorite palettes in this size. It's a beaut. I love warm toned eyeshadows. And even though a lot of these shades are similar, I will say that, to me, the palette is still worth it just because I love these types of colors and these tones. And formula-wise, beautiful. The creamy mattes in that one actually work really well with no skipping or anything like that. This palette, I was really disappointed when I first used it because this creamy matte and this one, Jesus, they were so hard to work with. But I ended up using this one so much that I had to stop saying I didn't like it because I was like, I keep reaching for it. So I keep reaching for it because I love the tones in this palette. And then I figured out a way, you know, to make it work for me and proper brushes to use with it. So it is actually one of my favorite palettes from her. Sunrise palette, I had to remember Sunrise. I really enjoy this one. Don't use it as much as I probably should. But when I first got it, I did use it a lot. I really like this one. So here is the Mini Leela. And I actually enjoy this one. Not the best formula in this size, but good enough for me to where I will still use it and keep it. So she's a keeper. Here is the Mini Nude. And this one is broken. I've had this one for a couple years, so I'm going to declutter this one simply because it's so broken. And actually, the brand sent me another one. I'm going to declutter this one, but only because it's broken. If it wasn't broken, I would for sure keep it because it is by far my favorite mini palette of this size. It's just, I mean, when I want like a simple nude glam type of look, here's the one that they sent me. This is the one I reached for. All the shades work beautifully, and especially this shade right here. I love like the duo shift in it, and I love that, like, for the most part, I can pretty much put this in the crease, put this all over the lid, and it looks like I have a complete eye look. And I love that when you have shadows like that. And I purchased the Mini Zendo palette, and I was actually very happy with this one. I sprayed this palette with alcohol, so that's where the residue is coming from. But this one I really enjoy. I definitely recommend this one for lighter complexions just because it is more of a lighter palette, but I really do enjoy this one. This was sent to me from the brand. This is the mini retro one, and I'm glad to have it. I didn't purchase this one because I thought it would have been too light for me, and upon using it, it is light. So I would say if you do have a deeper complexion, this probably wouldn't be the best fit on your eyes because it is a lighter palette. But am I happy to have it? Yes. The mini glam palette, this one is a beautiful one. And I'm glad to have it. This was sent to me as well from Natasha. I have not tried this one. This was also sent to me. I haven't tried this one yet, but I will be trying this one soon. And then the mini sunset palette. Haven't tried this one. This was also gifted to me, but we'll be trying it soon. So all of those are keepers. Charlotte's Bejeweled Eyes Hypnotize palette. You all have seen this palette a few times now on my channel. One of my favorites. It's beautiful. Great for everyday wear. You got your couple pops of color to kind of glam it up a little bit. But then you've also got your beautiful nude shades when you want a more simple, neutral look. Highly recommend this palette. Another one, the Instant Eye palette in Pillow Talk. Y'all, I did not think I was going to love this palette as much as I do. Like, this palette, I still reach for it. I recently used this one. This week, I want to say, yeah, this past week I used this. Just blown away. I was like, okay, this just looks simple. It does, but it performs beautifully. And for that, this will always be one of my favorite Charlotte Tilbury palettes in terms of just, you know, when I just want a simple, beautiful, neutral look. For her cream eyeshadows, I have two. So I have one in Star Gold, and this one's beautiful. Love this one. I love her cream formula because you really can do like one and done eyeshadow looks. Once they set on the eyes, they don't crease, but the formula doesn't set too fast to where you don't have time to work with it, blend it out, and get it where you want on your eyes. And then I have her newest one in Sunset Rose. Really enjoy this one as well. This one has more of like a cooler shift to it in its tone. Definitely pulls more rosy, but this is beautiful on the eyes, especially in conjunction with the Fire Rose palette. I recently did a review of them. Here's the Fire Rose one, and I used the Sunset Rose as a base and then complemented it with this palette, and I loved how it turned out. The new Fire Rose palette, OMG. Not going to tell you that you need it, but I am going to tell you if you want it, you should go ahead and get it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. The formula is just, this pop color is like no pop color that she's ever come out with, and it pops. I'm talking like bling bling popping all over the lid. Then I have Walk of No Shame. I really enjoy this one. This is probably, out of my Charlotte Tilbury palettes, my least favorite, only because when I do eye looks with this palette and just this one alone, I don't get really any diversity with my eye looks. But do I like the formula? Do I recommend it? Absolutely. Then we have the Desert Haze one, her all matte quad. Beautiful formulation. The powders are so silky smooth. So I think this is a really good complementary one to any other shimmers that you have. Or if you just love, you know, all matte eyeshadow looks. And then the Queen of Glow. Oh, this palette is just juicy goodness to my soul. One of my favorite eyeshadow palettes just across the board. Like not just Charlotte Tilbury, but across the board. She's a beaut. I have this one by Scott Barnes, the Natural #1 palette. And y'all, I have a love-hate relationship with this palette. Do I love it? Yes. Was I supposed to do a review on it? Yes. I did not do a review on it because I found out that, some news about Scott Barnes that I just couldn't agree with, and so I won't be supporting his brand anymore. So this is the only product that I have from him. But besides my own, you know, concerns with the brand owner, y'all, I love this palette. I love this palette, and I'm so disappointed because had I not heard the things I had heard about him, I was about to go on a serious binge on the brand with buying more eyeshadows, buying his brushes. But if you have this palette, or if you're eyeing it, you know, you're not into keeping up with, you know, who does what and what have you, I'm telling you, this one's a gem. It is a gem. It's so beautiful. It has pretty much every neutral shade in it that you could ever want, and the shimmers are beautiful. So I'm gonna keep it because I spent my money on it and I like the palette, but I'm not gonna buy anymore from the brand. I've got 2 eyeshadow palettes by Mr. Wayne Goss. So I have this one. This is his first palette, the Luxury Eye Palette. And does Wayne Goss do any formulas wrong in my book? No. I love this one. I have done a review on it. It's a beautiful, once again, neutral eyeshadow palette, but the formulation is stunning. It really is. And then I just received his newest eyeshadow palette in PR. This is the new luxury eyeshadow palette in Pearl Moonstone. I'll be using this in a video soon, but this is stunning. I already know what outfit I want to wear when I do the review on this palette. I know. I'm already prepared, but I can't wait to use this one. I've already seen a couple of videos on it, and I really think I'm going to enjoy it as well. So I have the Fenty Snap Shadow in the shade 9. These Fenty Snap Shadows, the formula is not terrible, but is it the best? No. So I probably won't be buying any more of these, just because they're not the best. And when I buy them, I review them, I like them, but I don't reach for them again. So I'm not gonna buy them anymore. But this one is in the shade Wine. And I will say, of the ones that I have, I do enjoy them. I do. And I'm gonna reach for them more. This one is in the shade Rose. I actually really like this one a lot. I know some people didn't like it because of the formula, but I really like this one. And then I have this one in Deep Neutrals. And formula-wise, I think this one is the best of the ones that I have. The last Fenty palette I have is her Moroccan Spice one. I got this one for half off, and I am really glad that I did, because although I like the palette, once again, formula is not stellar. And so I would have been really disappointed if I would have paid full price for this one. But I'm going to keep it because I do like it. Oh, I forgot one by Charlotte. This was my first Charlotte Tilbury palette, the Icon palette. How could I forget this one? Sorry, guys. This one, ooh, was my favorite for a very long time. And I still think it's beautiful. Like, if it's still on the market and if you're interested in it, I would suggest getting it. So what's interesting about this palette is that you are technically working with, like, technically all shimmers. These shades right here are more of like a satin formula. So although they're not a true matte, you can use them as mattes. And then what I love about the palette is that you can use these rows here, or these columns, I should say, and create full eye looks. And I think it's just beautiful. So I love this palette. I have this one by Give Me Glow. It's the Juicy Olive palette. And this is a beautiful green palette. I've used it once or twice, and I really did like the formula. I want to get the Give Me Glow. I think it's like her Rose palette. I can't remember the name of it, but I really need to get that one, because every time I see someone use it, I'm like, why don't I have it? I have a couple of palettes by KKW. And this one is the classic palette. So I got this for half off during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty. I have not used it yet, but I'm going to use it. I have my reservations, y'all. I do. I have my reservations about the brand, and which is why I don't have much from the brand, but I really did want these ones. This is the Mrs. West palette. Oh my gosh, I think this is so pretty. So pretty. I think I've used like a couple of shades in here. I've used this one once. I'm gonna keep them because I do want to use them more. Am I gonna buy more from the brand? I don't know, per my reservations. Tom Ford, I've got a couple. So this is the Eyeshadow Quad in Burnished Amber. I think this one is beautiful. I've used it a couple times. Great for just a simple, simple neutral look. The formula of this was pretty nice. Not the best in my opinion, but it was pretty nice. Then I have this one in First Frost. Totally blown away by this. Did not think I would love it as much as I do. Formula is splendid, like splendid. And then my newest one, where I haven't done a video on it, but I am going to do one soon. I used the Mercurial palette, and I wore this in the last episode of our season finale of Behind the Beauty. And one of you all were like, what are the details of your makeup? In that particular video, I used this and just blended it up pretty much all over the eye. Put this shade like in the inner portion of my eye, and this was my inner corner highlight. It was the simplest eyeshadow look I have done in the longest time, but it was one of the most beautiful ones I've ever created. I recommend that Mercurial one. I'll tell y'all that in my video. Naughty Nude palette. I really enjoy this one. I've done a recent review of it, and I really like this one. I didn't think I was going to pick it up, and then I did, because it was I was able to get it during the sale, and I was like, wow, this one is actually really, really nice. I prefer this one so much more over the nude one. I forgot what that was called. The new nude one. Yeah. This one is, I highly recommend this one for tan to deeper complexions over the new nude one. I had that one and ended up getting rid of it because it was light and I didn't really reach for it. The Mercury Retrograde one, I fell hard for this one and once again, wasn't even going to pick it up. Saw it on the shelf during the sale last year and was like, I guess I'll try it, and was like, never looking back. This is one of my favorite palettes to use in the spring. It's so, so pretty. So here's the Nude Light. Definitely I use this one the least out of the three because it is lighter, but this one is still pretty. Like, I'm glad that I have it. Nude Medium would be my favorite simply because it's more geared toward my skin tone. But the formula is really, really good for all three of these. And then the Nude Rich one is stunning, and I really enjoy this one as well. Supreme Nudes by Artist Couture. Classic. Such a pretty one. Love it for, once again, those just simple neutral days. But the formula is stunning. Love all of the mattes in this particular palette, and I'm like, I need to use this one soon. Here's just one that I have of like single eyeshadows. So some of these eyeshadows are from Sydney Grace. I have our Behind the Beauty collaboration with them right here. And then these are from Colored Raine. So it's just a mix of them, but formula-wise, between Sydney Grace and Colored Raine, all of these eyeshadows are amazing. I actually kind of like this palette I created. Let's go on to my other Colored Raine palette. I have the Queen of Hearts palette. I've had this palette for 4 years now. Not getting rid of it. This is another one of those where it's gonna have to literally have mold on it for me to be like, okay, I'll toss it. This palette is such a classic. I mean, it's just the form, and what I love about it is, to this day, y'all, the formula still works. The formula has not changed on these, and I've had the palette for a long time. I used that palette about a month ago, and that's how I know the formula has not changed because it's great. Juvia's Place. So here's the thing. I've got my first Juvia's Place palette. This is the Nubian. Obviously, loved it. Then I have the Zulu palette right here. I think it's called Dose or Duce one right here. The Warrior. Beautiful. Warrior 2. This is their all matte one. I use this one the least, but this one is still a really good one. The Saharan 2 is probably my favorite. Oh, it's gorgeous. And then I have the Mini Masquerade. Here's the thing. I do not use my Juvia's Place palettes, but I don't use them mainly because I just like other eyeshadows better. But like, part of me wants to declutter all of them because I don't use them. I think what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna see my sister soon. I'm gonna see if she wants any of these. And then whatever she doesn't want, I'm gonna keep. But whatever she doesn't want, I'm gonna let her have it. Here's the BK Beauty True Beauty palette. I've done a recent review on it, and this is a beautiful everyday type of palette. I think Lisa did an amazing job, especially for this being her first cosmetic product. So I'll definitely link that video down below for you all if you want to go ahead and watch it, but I really do recommend it. The formula is really beautiful on that eyeshadow palette. Here is the Wander Beauty Wanderous Seascape eyeshadow palette. I recently did a review on this one, and I didn't like it. This was gifted to me, but the shimmers, ironically, were the shades that kind of turned me off from this palette. So I'm gonna see if my sister wants this one, and if she doesn't want it, it will be decluttered. Here is a eyeshadow palette from Private Society. This is the Smoke Show eyeshadow palette. And I'm definitely going to declutter this one. I did use it and I liked it, but I'm starting to realize if packaging does not attract me, I'm not going to use the palette. And I feel so bougie saying that, because this time last year I would have told you, oh, packaging is not a big deal to me, but I realize it is a big deal, in the sense of if the packaging just doesn't speak to me, I don't want to use it. And that packaging is it's a bit too much for me. I had these two eyeshadow palettes from Shanta Kai. They were gifted to me. So this one is in the shade Laguna Rialto. And these are beautiful, really beautiful. The formula is really smooth as well. And although they're shimmery duos, you actually can get a really nice eye look with both of them. This one is in the shade, I think it's Lhasa and Himalaya. So keeping both of these because I do like the formula, and I'll use them as like complementary eyeshadows for another look. Here is the NARS Ignited palette, and oh, this one is pretty. Actually dropped this and it broke, but I love the shimmers in this particular palette, and I've had this now for 2 years. Oh my gosh, I think it's been 2 years. So I'm definitely keeping this one. This shade right here is one of my favorite shades. I gotta be careful with her because she's so delicate. Here is the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder palette. I won this one in a giveaway, and this one is a really pretty one. I have used this one a couple times, and the formula is nice. But I think I'm gonna see if my sister wants this one. I can see her wearing this palette more than I wear it. So, but I do like it, and I'm glad that if she doesn't want it, I'm gonna keep it. I ordered these two from Octoly, and then Ofra sent the two palettes to me. So this is the Sweet Dreams one. This one's pretty. This shimmer shade right here is like ultra bling. It's gorgeous. And this one is in the shade Galaxy. Beautiful lavender one as well. Kind of reminds me of that one from Kaleidos that we saw earlier in terms of like the lighter shades. So gorgeous one. However, I might declutter these. Actually, I am going to declutter them. I don't use them. I just don't reach for them, and I don't know why, but I do have other shadows with a similar color story. So I'm going to declutter these. Hey, Dose of Colors collaboration with Desi, Perkins, and Katie. This is a Francation palette. So keeping this one. Oh, I love this palette. It's like to die for. This shade right here and these two blue shades right here. That's it. Oh, they're just stunning. Definitely keeping that one. So this is the Extra Spicy palette. I got this one last year, and I really like this one. I was pleasantly surprised. I need to use these palettes more because they are actually really nice. The ones that I have, I don't have all of them, but these couple that I have, the formula is great. Same with this one, Pumpkin Spice. Really, really pretty formula. And actually, this reminds me more of like a springtime type of palette. I do see the fall inspiration here, but I would also use this one in the spring for like this section over here. So I do recommend this one. Then I have these two. I bought these two by Too Faced from Marshalls or TJ Maxx. This is the Razzle Dazzle Berry eyeshadow palette, and I like this one, but I'm gonna declutter it. I mean, even though I got it on sale and it does smell good, I don't reach for it, and I'm honestly not going to reach for it. Here is another one, the Sparkling Pineapple eyeshadow palette. Now this one is really, really pretty. I like this one over the berry one, but once again, I don't reach for it, and I'll see if my sister or my niece wants it. I have one eyeshadow palette from Viseart. This is the Spritz Edit one, and I like the formula of this, but like, I was not expecting this eyeshadow palette to be this small. It's like, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was going to be, I knew it was going to be small, but I thought it was going to be bigger. However, formula-wise, this is really nice. And I'm going to keep it because I do like it. So, yeah. But I really do want to try the bigger Viseart palettes, like the Pro palettes. I have these liquid eyeshadows from Becca. They were gifted to me, and these are actually surprisingly nice. I don't reach for them though, and that's simply because I typically don't really do liquid eyeshadows. So once again, gonna see if my sister wants these. And if she doesn't want them, then whichever one she doesn't want, I'll keep them because they are really nice. These are two from Kiko Milano. They have a nice special place in my heart because I picked these up when I went to Europe last year. So this one is a duo in the shade Bordeaux Gold, and it's beautiful, like great, like complementary types of duo shades. Keeping that, and then this one is in Red Brown Mauve. Once again, really, really pretty. So once again, keeping this one as well. Here is the Lion King palette, Can't Wait to Be Queen. It's a collaboration by Sir John and Luminous. If y'all don't know, I love Sir John, like love him. So first of all, keeping this palette because he created it, but also keeping it because when I say this is like my favorite neutral eyeshadow palette, this is my favorite neutral eyeshadow palette. I have traveled with this one so many times and like continue to travel with it, especially if I know I want like a nice neutral look. This is the one I'm gonna travel with. I mean, with other ones, but I'm gonna keep this one in there. I love every shade in this palette. I just love it. Love it. I've got a couple of mini eyeshadow palettes from Lancome. So this one was gifted to me from Lancome. I have not used it yet. But I'm going to declutter it because I just know I'm not going to use it. And then I got this one in from Lancome. I had purchased a couple of things, and you know how they'll do like, you know, freebies with your purchase. I got this one as well, and I'll declutter this one. I know I have not used it, and I'm not going to use it. So once again, my sister and my niece. These four were gifted to me by Pixi. So they're actually, no, it's two. I forgot. One's a blush, two are blushes and highlighters, two are eyeshadows. So this eyeshadow one is a hazelnut haze one. Beautiful. I wore these for my birthday and I was like, whoa, Pixi. So that's how you're going to do? Stunning. Like really beautiful. This one is in this shade Rosette Ray. And I can't tell you which one I like better, because this one is so beautiful. The formula of these is really, really nice. And especially for this to be, you know, a drugstore based brand, beautiful. Just to show you, even though we're not doing bronzers and highlighters and blushes, this one is Sugar Blossom, and I really like this one. And I'm going to keep it because I did like it. And this is in the shade Honey Nectar. Honey Nectar, yes, Honey Nectar is better for deeper complexions. That bronzer shows up a little bit better on me, but both of these are beautiful. So keeping all four of these because they're great. Here are the eyeshadows by Mario. This is the Master Metals one. Really shocked by this one. Didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do. This is probably my favorite one out of the three that I have. And these shadows work beautifully with his mixing medium. And then we have the Master Neutrals one, which, like I said in my video, beautiful palette. But if you've got neutral eyeshadows, I wouldn't recommend you picking this one up, because if you've got neutrals that work for you, then you don't need this one. But if you don't have any type of neutral eyeshadow palette, I would say that's a good one to have. And then this is the Master Metallics. Really pretty and gorgeous shades as well. So I like them. I don't know if I will pick up any more Mario palettes. I don't know. Like, I know he's come out with some recent ones. I'm not going to be picking those up, but I do like the ones that I do have. Oh, this is a highlighter. Here's a highlighter from Laura Mercier in the shade Indiscretion, and she's pretty. I forgot I kept it in this section, so keeping that. Hi, Mel. Here's the Tiny Marvels collaboration with Mel Thompson and Sydney Grace. And this is a beautiful one. I don't want to throw the sleeve away because it's so pretty. This palette is gorgeous. Really, really pretty. The formula is great. Sydney Grace does such a beautiful job with her formulations. And I'm very, very pleased with this palette. So I definitely recommend this one. Oh, I have another highlighter here. Y'all, I'm running out of space, so I kind of keep certain things out of place. Here's the Danessa Myricks. This is a light work highlighter palette, and it's beautiful. I need to use this more, like really need to use it more. But this is a beautiful one. So she's got a light work one, and I think I forgot what the deeper one is called, but she's got a deeper highlighter palette, and this is gorgeous. So highlighter, but totally recommending it. And then lastly, but not leastly, we've got Mother Pet, because, you know, we gotta save Mother Pat for last. Why don't we? Yay! Okay, starting with the Celestial Divinity palette, the Mega one. This one is, I like this one. It's not my favorite Pat palette, but this is a nice one. It is a nice one. I will say I like this one better than I thought. Mattes are nice. Some of them are a little dry. The shimmers are beautiful. Like, can't take anything away from the shimmers. So I think this one's a nice one. Definitely keeping it, for sure. Then I have this one. This is the Bronson Temptation palette. I think this was my first Pat McGrath palette. This one is discontinued, but oh, I love it. And I got it around Christmas time, so I like to use this one around the holidays as well. But really enjoy this one. Then I have the Bronze Ambition one, another beautiful one. I think this one is discontinued as well, but ooh, great for just, you know, simple bronze looks. But if I want to actually, you know, add a little more punch to the shimmers, I like this one. Then we have the Rose Decadence one. This one came out this year, and this one is pretty. I do like this one. I love using this shade as a blush. I think it's gorgeous. This one is not my favorite one, simply because I honestly can't even tell you why it's not my favorite one. I can't. It's not a bad formula, but I don't reach for it. And I really did think I was gonna reach for that one a good amount of times, but I don't. It's her newer quad, so this is an Interstellar Icon. This one's a really, really pretty one. I love these two shades right here. And they're not the same types of palettes from last year, but actually I really enjoy them. This one is for Fantasia, and it's gorgeous. Definitely one if you love, you know, your pastels and things like that. Really gorgeous. And this is a great highlighter shade. And then we have Risque Rose. Beautiful as a blush, hands down. This also new creamy matte formula by Pat is just so smooth and beautiful. So I really do actually like the newer quads. And then her quads from last year. This is, what is this one called? I can't remember what this one is called. It'll come back to me when I'm done. But I really, really like this one. This shade is just, it's so pretty. My favorite shade in this quad. And then, what is this one called? Rose. I forgot the name of this one too. Sorry guys. But I've used this one a lot, and this one is just stunning. Really beautiful. Don't have the third one that she came out with last year. I'm gonna get it one day. I need to get it before she discontinues it, just to complete the collection. And then the Mothership palettes. I have all 8. And the only one that I haven't used is Mothership 1. So this one. I recently got this one for my birthday, and I haven't used it yet, but I am going to use it soon. I should use these ones for the holiday. Maybe I'll use this for like a New Year's Eve look. No, I'm not going out for New Year's, but hey, I'm still going to get glam. Mothership 2, which she's beautiful. This green shade right here, unmatched. Unmatched, gorgeous. I thoroughly enjoy this one as well. Then we've got Mothership 3. Oh, subversive. It's so hard. I haven't ranked my Mothership ones, and I don't even want to be up for the task because I can't even tell you. It's so hard. Decadence, I mean, they don't have this one doesn't have her special shades, but these shimmers are to die for. Mothership 5, oh my gosh. This was my first Mothership palette. I got it for Christmas, and this is when I said, okay, Pat McGrath must be in my life. This is my favorite shade in the palette. I use it all the time. This is my most used Pat McGrath palette, and it was my favorite one until some other ones came along. But this Mothership 5 is my most sentimental palette, I will say that. Mothership 6, this was the first Mothership palette that I purchased myself. Beautiful shade. Oh, this shade right here looks like straight fire on the eyes. It really does. And then we have Mothership 7, which I sat on for so long to get because I didn't think I would like it because it's more cool toned. And now it's like in my top 3. I do know that much. Love this one. And then finally, Mothership 8 and Wowza. Love these two shades right here for blushes. Extra terrestrial. I mean, need I say any more? This shade right here is a highlight. Get out of here. I just, Mother in these Mothership palettes. Guys, that is it. We actually got through this a lot faster than I thought. So that's it. I did declutter a few ones, but I did keep a lot. And I suspected I would keep a lot. I hope that you enjoyed this video and this slight declutter. I've got more makeup to declutter, so stay tuned. I have probably a good 2, maybe 3 more videos to do, and then I would have decluttered all of my makeup. So stay tuned for more declutter videos, but I'm so thankful that you all took a little time to watch this one. I hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.